As a woman, I can tell you what it is to be depressed, lonely, frustrated, angry, and sometimes felt like throwing up in the towel. As a woman, I've experienced all women related emotions possible. I've been where I wished sometimes God should not have added the additional benefit of having a female cycle, or the pain of childbirth, or the price of falling in love, etc. Sometimes I blame Adam and Eve for some of my relationship woes and wished they would have made a better choice when confronted with the temptation of eating the forbidden fruit in the Garden of Eden. Yet, sometimes I catch myself off guard thinking about Eve, what it would have been to have just two responsibilities of keeping Adam company and obeying the commands of God and not worrying about anything else. Today, most women do not have such luxury. We have to juggle several responsibilities at the same time to keep the family moving forward. Many women have to fulfill their wifely responsibility as well as a mother, in addition to being a worker, sometimes working out of home, town crier, doctor, advisor, counselor, friend, enemy sometimes, cook, laundry maid, cleaner, stepping stool, and the list goes on and on. And she is still expected to smile through it all and look pretty in the process. At the end of the day, she is expected to lay on the bed and open her legs for her husband without complaint. Some women are married to jerks of a husband. One example of such men in the Bible can be found in 1 Samuel 25. Here, Abigail, a good woman, was married to a fool and a sluggard for a husband. She told David that her husband is a fool, and not only that, but his name of Nabal literally means fool. I am sure a lot of people in their hearts may have come across some married people that looked like they were mismatched, and you cannot help but wonder if these women were drunk when they said, "I do." Well, sometimes the outsider may never know the truth behind these marriages. I'm certain some virtue in the man may have attracted the woman. However, down the road, the man starts exhibiting some weird habits and mannerisms that the woman missed when they were dating. If you had prayed for a spouse and God gave you one, He never makes any mistakes. But humans, in their fallenness, opens the door for demonic interference in their lives. It is so funny how everyone around, two lovers, can see who these people are clearly but themselves. Isn't there a saying that love is blind? Well, sometimes as women, we should not blindly fall in love. Try as much as possible to fall in love with one eye open in case. It's just my opinion. When I think about love, I remember what Rosalind in Shakespeare said in As You Like It. She said, "Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves as well a dark house and a whip as mad men do. And the reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet I profess curing it by counsel." Some women have wished to find love, and yet for some, they wish they never fell in love. This is an irony of love for so many. God has divinely created humans to love and be loved and to fellowship with each other. No wonder so many women are in a wrong relationship hoping to make it work by their strength and power. One truth is that no human can change another human. We can encourage, motivate, cheer on, push to get results, but we do not have the ability to change anyone. If you're aware of this truth, lots of women will spare themselves sleepless nights and headaches. The change we wish on our husbands actually lies in us. We should be flexible enough to change ourselves. Unfortunately, some women have been so abused and oppressed in their marriage that they cannot find a way out. They are stuck for one reason or the other, that they believed a lie. I'm going to give you 4 reasons some women remain in unhealthy relationships. 1. The man they are married to is their only last resort, and they decide to endure the pain, abuse, emotional trauma, and sometimes they lose their minds or lives in some cases in the process. These men have used psychological abuse on them to keep them from leaving. This is control. These men are rebellious to the commands of God to love their wives as Christ loves the church. And that's Ephesians 5:25. Lots of people will be surprised that they are into witchcraft. Witchcraft is not only killing and drinking human blood or sacrificing to the enemy, but it is rebellion and stubbornness. The Bible says in 1 Samuel 15:23, it says that for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Reason number 2. Lots of women also believe that they have to remain in abusive relationships because no other man will love them having been married before or have children. This is a lie. True love is not contingent on your previous marital status or parental status. There is always hope and opportunity to love again. If you had failed at previous attempts, if a man is giving you these reasons why they cannot marry you, then move on, because that man is not for you. With prayer, patience, and divine will of God, your true love will eventually locate you. However, you cannot put your life on hold in the process of trying to find love. Reason number 3. Another reason some women stay in unhealthy relationships is because children are involved. They risk their personal fulfillment or progress in life, thinking the best thing to do is to remain in an abusive relationship and suffer all the physical, emotional, and mental torment. No, it is not worth it. Most times, it is better for both the kids to have their parents separated than to be exposed and affected by the bitterness, anger, and unhealthy fightings of their parents. These children do not ask to be born. Well, some parents are so selfish and blinded by revenge that they use their kids as tools for battle. This is not fair on the kids, and it is a selfish and wicked means of settling differences. In any separation and divorce that kids are involved, one or the other parent will suffer the pain of losing total custody of the child or children. One important truth you cannot miss here is when a parent tries to get back at the other parent and keep the children away, they deprive the kids of the love of one half of the parent. This is an easy door opener for trauma and curses to enter an innocent child. In most cases, these children do not display the devastating anger and bitterness rooted in them until later in years. Lots of women fall prey to this enemy's trap by depriving their children of the other parent. This is outright wickedness and selfishness. In rare cases, though, where the other parent is sexually abusive or physically abusive to the children, it is a wise thing to protect the children by keeping them away. If none of this exists, that is the abusive part. If none of it exists and you keep your children away just to get back in anger to your spouse, beloved, that is evil. Kids look at their parents with kids' eyes. They love both parents equally and do not see any fault in them. And if they should see any fault, it was manipulated and put in there by the angry parent. If you use your child as tools against the other parent, it proves you do not love your child. If you truly love your child, you will not deprive them from their other parent. You will not expose them to the painful emotion of hate, anger, bitterness, and unforgiveness early in life. Children are incapable of handling such devastating negative emotion. The last reason I have, some women have been psychologically abused by their spouse that they believe a lie that they cannot survive without their abusive spouse. You do not need another human to survive. You need God, and that other human needs God as well. This mindset limits God in a person's life when your focus and faith is in another human. There is so much God can do for you, and that can lead to serving other gods, idolatry. The enemy thrives in a marriage where there is fighting and division. He steps up his game and oppresses everyone involved. His sole purpose is to come in, to steal, kill, and destroy. And that is found in John 10:10. But the devil is a liar. There are many people who are traumatized by the abuse and disappointments they endured in relationships with parents or marriages. In all these situations, there is a ray of hope. God is a redeeming and loving Father, He uses all situations, circumstances, experiences, pain, or trauma for good. He alone knows how to do this. He not only heals physical ailments, but also heals deep soul wounds and inner pain tucked away for years and years. He is master at this. And this is where inner healing comes in. The process of inner healing is extensive depending on how deep the pain and trauma. And in inner healing, God goes in there, draws it out, and restores peace, healing, and wholeness to that individual. And that, beloved, is what a lot of women, a lot of children, and a lot of people need. Restoration, wholeness. Jesus Christ in Luke 4:18 and 19 came to restore all this and much more.